Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are taking their attention and pointing it squarely on Facebook, as well as grilling other social media executives from Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube. And we do know that there is a group of senators who now want to actually keep young users more safe online. So, Josh, is this the responsibility of tech companies, or is there someone else who should really be the accountable one here?
It's absolutely the responsibility of tech companies, but I think what we've seen the last few weeks with the Facebook files and at yesterday's hearing on Capitol Hill is that these companies are not going to make the necessary changes to protect children on their own. Their business model is about making as much money off of kids as possible, and that often means exposing them to harmful content and keeping them on their platforms too long. So we need Congress to act right now to enact 21st century protections for kids online.
Do some of those protections mimic what we've seen for years in the movie industry, where if you are going to put out a new movie, it's rated PG or PG-13 or rated R, you know exactly the kind of content that you're getting? Obviously, Facebook is a community platform, so if they did change the regulation, or other social media companies actually had more regulation, they would have to make it widespread across the board. Is that what advocates of these safety rules are looking for?
Well, what we're looking for is special protections for children. Right now, the law says once a child turns 13, they're treated as an adult on the internet. And as we've seen with all the information coming out of Facebook, that's incredibly damaging to teenagers. So what we want is an internet that has a special set of rules for children and teens, that doesn't allow the amplification of harmful content to children that age, that doesn't allow that their data is collected for advertising purposes, because this is all about making money. And so I think we can actually build an internet that protects children and still has all the benefits for adults, but it's going to require regulation.
But how? How are we going to create a safe space in a place where adults and children play together? It's not like the playground. It's not like a sandbox where, you know, you have kids here and grown-ups over at the bar. Facebook is for all. So what kind of regulations are we really realistic about?
Well, first of all, we need to keep children who are under 13 off of those platforms, and we need to hold the companies accountable for all the children who are under 13 and on those platforms. But actually, we don't need children and adults to be mixing on these platforms. That's actually what leads to a lot of the problems. That's what leads to sexual predation. That's what leads to a lot of children going down rabbit holes. We can have children's accounts being private, so they're not connecting with strangers. We can have again, not amplifying this content to the children. So I actually think we can keep them, somewhat separate. And when we throw kids into the adult internet when they turn 13 or even when they turn 10, that's where the problems result.
Well, I promise you, we're not throwing them in. They are finding it at ages 6 and 8. And I mean, for sure, it really is something that a company would have a very hard time monitoring, let alone a parent. But in your opinion, should lawmakers address the issues with TikTok, particularly because of the latest headlines regarding privacy concerns, and if so, how?
Yes, lawmakers should absolutely, and the Federal Trade Commission should, first of all, hold TikTok accountable for all the data they are illegally collecting from children under 13 who are not supposed to be on the platform. But lawmakers should pass laws that extend privacy protections to teenagers. They have no privacy protections, that ban data-driven advertising to children under 18, because the problem is how these kids are being monetized. That's why these platforms are doing all this stuff to keep them on and serving them this harmful content, and that address the amplification of harmful content. These are things that could be done. There are technical solutions, but it takes the will and the political will to force the companies to do this.